So previously when we were building our model of aggregate demand, we said, all right, we're just going to add some fixed level of investment because we don't think investment depends too much on current output. But obviously investment does depend on something. And so we're going to talk about what investment does depend on, and we're going to focus specifically on the interest rate. And so we're going to see that firms' investment decisions depend especially on the interest rate, right, which we'll call R. Also the owner's discount rate, so how impatient the owner is. Does the owner want to consume more of the income now? Does he or she want to invest more of the income and prepare for larger sales in the future? And then also, what the net profit is and expected future demand, right? So if a firm is increasingly profitable, then they might invest more. If profits are falling, they might invest less. And so they're going to depend on both R, which is the interest rate, and P, which is the net profit rate on investment. So let's work through this and think about our aggregate investment function piece by piece. So what is the interest rate? Well, remember that the interest rate is the rate at which people and firms can borrow. And so we're going to focus on the ability of firms to borrow money in order to fund investment projects. And so we've got two firms here. We've got Firm A and Firm B, and they've got a number of different projects that they can invest in. And so for firm, and those different projects come with different profit rates, right? So for Firm A, the profit rate on project 1 looks like about 6.5%. On project 2, it looks about 4.5%. On project 3, it's under 1%. For Firm 2, they have 3 projects also, 4% profit rate, 3% profit rate, and just over a 2% profit rate. And so if they need to borrow money in order to do these projects, then if the interest rate is 5%, they're not going to borrow money unless the profit rate exceeds 5%. And in this case, only project 1 from Firm A exceeds 5%. On the other hand, as the interest rate falls, right, then from say 5% to 2%, now we have a whole lot of more projects that look profitable, right? So project 1 is profitable for Firm A, project 2 is going to be profitable for Firm A, and then for Firm B, projects 1, 2, and just 3 look like they're going to be profitable as well, whereas project 3 for Firm A, still not profitable. So we can look at this in total, right, and we can put up Firm A and Firm B in terms of the project's profitability, and we can see that as the interest rate falls from 5% to 2%, we get an increase in investment because now not just project 1 gets funded, but projects 2 from Firm A and project 1, 2, and 3 for Firm B. And of course, in an economy like the United States, we have millions of firms, and so they're all looking at different projects, all deciding how much to invest. And as the interest rate falls, more of those projects will now be profitable, and so the investment will increase in total. Another issue is, are firms going to be more profitable, right? So profit rates seem to vary over time, both with sort of competitiveness in the economy, also over the course of the business cycle. Profits tend to increase in the middle of the business cycle and then they tend to fall. If the profit level increases, right, so if firms feel like, okay, these projects are going to be more profitable than I thought, then they will be more likely to invest. So in this case, at just a steady 5% interest rate, if the profitability rate increases for each project, so that's the lightly shaded colors, then now instead of just project 1 from Firm A, project 2 from Firm A and project 1 from Firm B will all be undertaken at a 5% interest rate. And at a 2% interest rate, they would all be undertaken, right? But just staying at the 5% interest rate, we still get this increase in investment that's measured here on the horizontal axis. So as profit rates increase, we would expect firms to invest more. Now, that said, right, if profit rates are increasing because of a lack of competition, then it will depend on what these projects are, right? If these projects are about expanding their ability to produce, then maybe they will be undertaken. But if they're about producing new products and innovation, then they may not be undertaken, because firms might decide, hey, I don't need to invest in this because competition is not very strong. So that's something to keep in mind. The other possibility is that demand increases, right? And so if expected future demand increases, so firms say, oh God, the economy's going really well, I expect it to keep growing in the future, that means each of these projects is going to lead to more profit measured by the horizontal distance. Then we can say, all right, well, now at an interest rate of 2%, I'm only going to do those 5 projects that were profitable before, but I'm going to do them bigger, right? So I'm going to build a bigger factory. I'm going to build more stores. I'm going to buy more robots. I'm going to buy more trucks. I'm going to buy more computers. All of those things are now more profitable, not because the profit rate has increased, but because we expect more people to be buying. And so that can lead to an increase in investment too. So that can be one of the things that keeps an expansion going, that as the economy is growing, as people are spending, firms say, oh, that's really good, I'm going to increase the size of my investment as well. So the way we can think about this is, if we have investment on the horizontal axis and the interest rate and the profit rate on the vertical axis, we would expect investment to increase as the interest rate falls, right? So as the interest rate falls, investment increases. If the interest rate is 4%, we're at some point here C. If we are at 3%, we're at some point here E. And that's holding profit expectations constant. As profit expectations increase, then we can shift our investment curve to the right and get even more investment at a similar interest rate.